Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy. Remember it so you don't have to. What can you say about Chuck Norris? Me? Nothing. Guy leaves no impression on me. He's like a Harry Steven Seagal. But thanks to ChuckNorrisFacts.com, apparently a lot of people have things to say about him. Like, Chuck Norris doesn't sleep, he waits, guns don't kill people, Chuck Norris kills people, and there is no chin under Chuck Norris's beard, there's only another fist. Yes, Chuck Norris is the first person to literally turn himself into a human catchphrase. But how can you not when you star in such self-indulgent horse vomit like Sidekicks? This is the first movie to openly acknowledge that Chuck Norris is not only better than God, but in fact is a lot better than God. He's like God, sex, and kung fu put in a blender to create undiluted manliness. But why is Chuck Norris that awesome? Well, if you don't know the answer by the time you're done watching this movie, then you don't know Chuck. Let's get kicking. So we see some sort of Asian setting where some poor damsel in distress is about to be cut to ribbons by a guy wearing a mask of Doc Brown. But who should be there but the always unstoppable Michelin Man? No, it's Chuck Norris, the undeniable king of slow-mo fighting. You wouldn't be so tough if you fought in regular motion. You know they say that Chuck Norris can eat a hammer and take a gunshot blast while standing? And who's here to help our acrobatic marshmallow man but that kid from Sequest! So they join forces to stop the easily defeatable stuntman. You know, that only works if you hit someone, guys. I especially love this one ninja who I think was late on his mark. Oh, I guess I should fall. So this epic battle of awesomeness simply has to be too good to be true. And yeah, it is. It turns out it was just a fantasy in a kid's head, and they happen quite often. The kid's name is Barry, an asthmatic who often catches himself daydreaming. Winnie! Hey, it's Winnie from the Wonder Years, the quiet, gentle bookworm who's always in an on-again, off-again relationship. Huh, I wonder who she's playing here. A quiet, gentle bookworm who's always in an on-again, off-again relationship. Awesome! So his teacher named Miss Chan shows concern about his constant daydreaming in class.
You've got to understand, there's a time and a place for dreams. It's not in the classroom.
The classroom is where dreams go to die. Get it right! His father, played by Beau Bridges, no, really no. There he is! Comes in to have a talk with Barry's teacher.
He's just never been a physical kid. And there's nothing wrong with that. Einstein, Gandhi, Gershwin, there's nothing wrong with these people. My son has asthma.
And therefore can achieve nothing. You know who else had asthma? Chuck Norris! Chuck Norris!
He says they're sidekicks, that they do things together.
Have you ever tried
What?
being his sidekick?
I don't think I'd have a chance against Chuck.
I mean, did you know that he's the only man who defeated a brick wall in a game of tennis? So they decide Barry needs an outlet for his daydreaming, thus they decide to give him karate lessons, taught by a quite fascinatingly unfunny Joe Piscopo.
Hey! You!
Me?
Yeah! You! We don't wear shoes on the mat here, mister!
Forgive me, I haven't decided if this role's supposed to be funny yet.
You must be pretty good to win all this stuff.
Well, I don't like to brag or anything.
Yeah, I bet you're almost as good as Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris?
Chuck Norris? You know they say that police label anyone who goes up against Chuck Norris as a suicide?
Karate is a sport of discipline and restraint and style. One that builds respect.
You believe in the Easter Bunny too, kid?
I don't know, I have to ask Chuck Norris. So he sits at home watching, what else? Chuck Norris movies, as he fantasizes again about being his psychic. This time the villain is played by Joe Piscopo, and we find out that the damsel is and always has been Miss Chan. I don't think this is so much dreaming about Chuck as it is fantasizing about his teacher. I mean, is she always the person being trussed up and rescued? Isn't that a little, creepy? And what exactly happens after you save her? Does she give you a thank you with a happy ending? Well, I think the answer is obvious. He gives her to Chuck Norris! So Piscopo lights a fuse that's going to blow her up when suddenly Norris rises out of the water and shoots the fire away. How the hell can you shoot fire away? Cut! My dream sucks. Let's try again and this time get it right! So we see his teacher talking to another teacher about why she's giving such a helping hand to young Barry.
Trouble with one of the urchins. Well, perhaps I can be of assistance.
Barry Grabowski.
Oh, but he's...
He's what?
He's slow and impaired. Hopeless. The kid is hopeless.
Because that's the motto of any good school. You're hopeless. Just give up and throw your books in the garbage. So Barry sits in school trying to study when suddenly... Really? We're not even gonna wait 5 minutes for another Chuck Norris wet dream? Wow, he even talks in slow motion.
Barry! And what, may I ask, was all that about?
I was working on a Charlie horse.
Okay, this kid has a mental illness.
Yeah.
This isn't charming, this is horrifyingly scary. Check him into a mental hospital.
There's someone I want you and your dad to meet. If he likes you, maybe he'll be the one to teach you martial arts.
'Cause that's the best thing to do! Teach a schizophrenic how to fight people. That's like having a cannibal take a cooking class. So it turns out the person is Miss Chan's uncle, played by Mako. Mako? You mean that guy I made fun of in the TMNT review and get horribly ridiculed for it? Well, I'm sure there'll be nothing wrong with his character in this movie. In fact, I'm sure he'll be absolutely delightful, with no flaws at all. So we see her uncle, named Mr. Lee, as he teaches one insensitive guy a little something about manners.
Tell that chink to douse that cigar. This is a public area. He's not supposed to be smoking that in here.
Do you mind telling me which particular chink you're referring to?
The keys are in front of you, Charlie.
And can you speed it up? I got a Klansman meeting to get to.
Smoke. Smoking. I'm smoking? I'm smoking? I'm smoking!
Wow, that's impressively bad acting. I mean, you have to try in order to be that horrible. How do you think he'd react if he got shot? Gunshot! 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 I've been gunshot! R2-D2, where are you? So when he's not setting people on fire, Mr. Lee runs a Chinese restaurant where Barry and his father plan to meet with him. Well, wait, what just happened?
He really likes you. He's very impressed with your work with computers.
You skipped over the meal they had together? Why? Did Chuck Norris not like it?
That's how we teach children to use chopsticks. Did you notice my uncle stopped using his halfway through the meal?
No, because you didn't. Show it.
Dear uncle, a poet and a charmer, teacher and philosopher.
And random dough tosser.
I'm sorry, I wasn't ready.
That is the entire point of this exercise. And what would be your fighting name? Barry the leopard. Barry the tiger.
Or how about Barry, the asthmatic ant? Yeah, that's good.
Mr. Dumpling. Mr. Dumpling never attacks by smashing the fists of his opponents with his own face.
I'm sure there's a lot of people who could probably make fun of this scene. But not me, no. I'm just so blown away by the charm of Mako.